Kendra with Crafty Kendra, and today I'm going to show you a couple basics with your BigShot. Whenever you get your BigShot, you get the machine itself, 2 standard cutting pads, and the multi-purpose platform. If you're ever curious about what sandwich you need to make to use a certain product, you just open up your platform and it'll tell you what sandwiches to make for certain things on this tab. So right here it tells you impressions pads, here's embossing folders, and all that fun stuff. Today I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can emboss with your BigShot. The first way is going to be with your embossing folders, and the second way is going to be with your texture plates. When embossing with an embossing folder, you're going to take your multi-purpose platform and place it onto tab 1 and put it in your BigShot. You're going to lay down a standard cutting pad. Going to grab your embossing folder, and this is the square lattice embossing folder. Going to put in a piece of paper, and these are just scrap pieces of paper, and lay it down. And then I'm going to place on top of that and my other standard cutting pad. I'm going to push it into my BigShot, and you'll see the handle move. The handle moves in the direction you need to crank. So I'm going to crank this way and just hold it down. And whenever it comes out the other end, we're going to have a pretty embossed piece of paper. Whenever you use texture plates, you're going to need a few other things that don't come standard with your BigShot to make it work. You're still going to leave your multi-purpose platform on tab 1. Then you're going to take your texturz plate and you're going to place it down. You're going to lay your cardstock on top. And make sure that the impression you want with your texturz plate is the one that's facing up. Then you're going to take the silicone rubber, and this is something that you would have to buy extra whenever you get the plates, and you lay that on top. The other thing that you would have to get is the impressions pad, and the impressions pad is very similar to the cutting pad, only the thicknesses are different, so you really do need to have this. Then you're just going to lay that on top. And again, push it towards the center of the machine. The handle will move in the direction you need to crank. And then you just run it through. And then it comes out embossed. Now, one of the differences between the embossing folders and the plates is how they emboss, but how the embossing changes the paper. As you can see, the embossing on the one that we ran through, the embossing folder, is a lot more defined, whereas the embossing with the texture plate is a little more subtle. It doesn't warp and change the paper as much as the embossing folder does. So that's just something to keep in mind. And if you guys have any more questions about using your BigShot to emboss, just let me know.